I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, White Oak. My name is Hailey Hemmings.
And I'm Mr. Paget.
And this is Morning Pounce. Ounce.
Actually,
Ounce. Ounce. Ounce.
what do you mean this is? Like, you mean like this table is the Morning Pounce, or like this program? Like, are we showing them our reality? Or is the this referencing this hard, flat surface we can touch? Or is this meaning the reality they're exposed to, the persona of our manifested creative ideas being broadcasted to other people?
Yeah, probably.
I don't think so. I just said a bunch of gibberish.
No, you basically just
You're
said-
watching the Morning Pounce.
Black History Month continues. Today's spotlight is on
Rebecca Lee Crumpler.
Rebecca Lee Crumpler was a physician born Rebecca Davis on February 8, 1831 in Delaware, United States. She died on March 9th in 1859 in Hyde Park, Massachusetts. Delaware was still a slave state, but Crumpler was born into a free family and raised by her aunt in Pennsylvania. It was overall safer for African American women, as in 1821, African Americans were condemned by law to receive a public education. In 1832, following Nat Turner's rebellion, the General Assembly passed several laws called the Black Code to minimize and control freed lives. Rebecca Lee Crumpler received her education from New England Female Medical College. Crumpler was one of 12 women in the graduating class and the only African American woman, making her the first female doctor in American history. This is just 15 short years after the first woman received her MD in American history. She worked to care for the sick and poor in Boston, where she followed her passions of medical care. She published a book called A Book of Medical Discourses in 1883. This book was revolutionary as she was the first African American woman to publish a medical book and one of the earliest publications from an African American. She wrote about women's health and how women should take care of infants. In her book, she said, "It may be well to state here that, having been reared by a kind aunt in Pennsylvania, whose usefulness with the sick was continually sought, I early conceived a liking for and sought every opportunity to relieve the sufferings of others. Later in life, I devoted my time, when best I could, to nursing as a business, serving under different doctors for a period of 8 days, from 1852 to 1860. Most of the time at my adopted home in Charleston, Middlesex County, Massachusetts. From these doctors, I received letters commending me to the faculty of New England Female Medical College, whence, 4 years afterwards, I received the degree of Doctors of Medicine." Crumpler served the freed slaves and African American community by working for the Freedmen's Bureau after the Civil War, and to also specifically tend for the poor. Crumpler remarked that Black medical professionals suffered extreme hate and racism when speaking about serving the Southern community. She is recognized as one of the most influential African Americans in medical history, according to the National Center of Biotechnology Information. Because of her remarkable accomplishments, the second African American woman, Dr. Rebecca Cole, was able to receive her degree in 1869. In 1870, Susan Maria Smith was the third African American woman to receive a doctorate degree. For a long time, she was actually not believed to be the first African American female doctor, and was not recognized until long after her death. She was not a prominent figure in the medical field during her lifetime, as she devoted herself to the poor and underdeveloped locality. There are no known news coverages or biographies of Crumpler. Rebecca Lee Crumpler remains a mystery, as very little known photos of her survived, and information known about her is from the introduction in her book. What does this say about her life and the society in which she lived in? Rebecca Lee Crumpler, like many other African Americans, unfortunately did not receive recognition for their outstanding work or were not respected in their field.
Let me set you free. Come on, 'cause I know what I like. And you're looking just like the type. Let's go for it just for tonight. Come on, come on, come on. Now don't even try to deny.
Guys, watch out! That wizard is casting pollinate!
That's no wizard. That's a spelling bee.
I'm giving him something he can feel.
The spelling bee will start next Tuesday.
To let him know this love is real.
Our astute philologists who continue will be in the championship round on Thursday, February 14th. Valentine's Day! Sign up at the front desk in the cafeteria. Get the word list at the front desk in the cafeteria.
The winner will also represent White Oak at the regional tournament.
So much hope for material things. Are they only in my dreams?
The winner will get a $50 gift card.
Vegetables! Are you broke in life school points? Talk to your world studies teacher about a famous African American political figure from Maryland. Here's a hint, Thurgood Marshall is one. Try harder, find a different one. Thank you guys for watching today's episode of the Morning Announcements. I just haven't been the same since Butterfinger changed the recipe. How many real Butterfingers are left?
They're running out, okay? Don't buy the new ones, just cherish the old ones! They're running out! I repeat, this is our work!
Revolution! You bring back your Butterfingers! Let's go on strike!
People out there, can you understand that I'm giving him something he can feel? To let him know this love is real. That I'm giving love, giving love. Giving him something he can feel. Talk to me.
So perceptions are responsible for realities. So the way I perceive something is how the reality unfolds. So if the flawed perception leads to a false reality or an alternate reality. Even though false could be an alternate, the alternate could be entirely a completely different truth. So that means falseness and untruths don't exist. But if truths then can exist, because you would have to be able, there would have to be something to be wrong. So the perception we have affects the reality, and the reality affects the perception. So if there's an alternate reality affecting our perception of this reality, that means the third reality is, no, we'd have to perceive that reality as a completely different medium, maybe another. I miss Butterfingers.